going on, yo? You know what I mean? We got the little Lakers versus Sixers matchup going on right now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about some stuff or whatever. Just a little, you know, something like talk about some topics in the NBA that's going on right now. Stuff that's happening or whatever. So yeah. You guys know me. Name's Alex. You know, I like basketball and everything. And yeah, I got my brother, AJ. If you want to say something, say something.
Yo, what's up? What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? Name's AJ. You know what I'm saying? I'm in the building. Y'all can call me Boss for short. Y'all get confused. First of all, I want to thank the great Uncle Alex for allowing me to come on his show tonight. Know what I'm saying? It's quite an honor. Just had some few questions for you. Uncle Alex. See what you're thinking. Everybody's really curious about your opinion about these topics. So without further ado, we can get started.
Alright, throw them at me.
Alright, so first thing, you know, I know the Warriors have been dominating the league for the last four years, you know, going on 5. And they got off on the bad start this year, and they're actually pretty struggling. I know last night they just lost to the Lakers. So let me ask you this: do you think there's a possibility that Golden State will not three-peat?
There's definitely a big possibility. You know, I actually hate the Warriors. In my opinion, I don't see why anybody wouldn't hate the Warriors. I mean, they're absolute disgrace to basketball overall. I mean, they play good basketball. They play good basketball, obviously, due to their resume and the things they accomplished, championships they won. You know, the players that they have. And they're obviously a really good team and everything. But the thing is, they have, and it's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. They have 3 players that they drafted, which is what you're supposed to do. You know, draft your players, build them up, develop them, and everything like that. But here's the thing that tips the boat. Kevin Durant knows he's one of the top. He may be arguably the best player in the league. He knows that. He knows that completely. And he knows what the Warriors have done. He knows there's a 2-time MVP on this team. One of the greatest shooters of all time. Another great shooter. And Defensive Player of the Year candidate in Draymond Green. So he knows this all and everything. So he faces them in the playoffs, you know, Western Conference. He's got Russell Westbrook. He's got Serge Ibaka. He should feel pretty confident because there's nobody on the Warriors at all that can check Kevin Durant. And he knows that too. Russell Westbrook knows that. Everybody knows that. But somehow, some way, Oklahoma City Thunder, they're up 3-1, which is not exactly expected, but not surprising either. So they face them. 3-1 happens or whatever. Yada yada yada. And whoop-de-whoop. One game. Game 4, Game 5, Game 6. No, Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. They all lose them, which is very embarrassing. He's saying that they're up 3-1. So they lose Game 7, and he tells Russell Westbrook, don't worry, we'll get them back next year and everything. Which is, you know, what you're supposed to say to your teammate when you lose a series like that, a tough series like that. But here's the thing. This man, Kevin Durant, the summer free agency has so many options, so many teams he can go to. He can go to any team that he wanted to. He decided, you know what, I'm going to go to the best team, the team that just beat me, the team I was up 3-1 on. That team, I'm going to go to that team and play with them. I don't care about my teammates. I don't care about the 9+ years I just spent with this franchise. I'm gonna go to another franchise that's like already set in stone, doesn't need any more help that it already has, and I'm just gonna make them 100 times better and just destroy this league. That's basically what he did. hate when people say it's the same thing as LeBron. No, LeBron built something while KD added to something. I mean, that's all that was. And he added to what they already had. They already had something that was set in the dynasty, and that was it. And he added on to it. He hopped on the bandwagon. That's it. He's like the awkward kid in the group that doesn't talk, but is in the group just to make it seem like that he's in it. He's in it. He wants to feel like he's a part of the group, but he's really not. Governor is an important part of the team. He's the one that makes this team like unbeatable, and that's the thing I hate about this team. It's not the Warriors' fault at all. It's not their fault at all. It's just the fact that Kevin Durant is on there. That's the only reason why I don't like the Warriors. But as far as their dominance, I don't like it. I mean, we have so many storylines in the NBA today. I mean, it's very, very entertaining how we still have good teams in the league that can compete. We have up-and-coming teams that want to win, but you know in the end, it's not going to happen because whoop-de-whoop, the Warriors are in town. The Warriors are here. Even though the record is like pretty bad in their standards, they're still going to win the championship. I mean, there's no doubt about it. They're still going to win the championship. LeBron could join any team he wants. He could probably get a bunch of superstars together, probably beat them like that. But nobody wants that either. Nobody wants to see two super teams going at it. Even though that would be entertaining, the rest of the league would just be dog shit. So nobody wants to see that. We want to see every single team be competitive like it was at least seven years ago, where at least every single team had a chance, where it wasn't a foregone conclusion every single year. I mean nowadays, it's Warriors all day, and it's just frustrating. Like, it's frustrating. You got all the good teams that would be good in any other era, but it's just not gonna happen in this era because the Warriors are here. That's all I have to say about the Warriors.
Right, that's, and I feel like a lot of people have your opinion, so that's pretty interesting. Moving on to the next question. The East is pretty. I think both conferences are interesting this year, but mainly the East because there's a. I don't think there's an obvious top person. I know Toronto's leading, but they also have Milwaukee who's dominating. The Sixers are rising, and Indiana's very low key on the radar, but they're coming up. They're up there. So, and you also got to consider the Celtics. So, when the dust settles after this season, who do you think will be the actual beast of the East?
I mean, isn't it pretty clear? This isn't a fairy tale. This isn't some type of storyland. This isn't Alice in Wonderland. This isn't MCU. This isn't a fairy tale. We all know who the beast of the East is. It's the Boston Celtics. Clearly, it's clearly the Boston Celtics, and it's no doubt about it. Of course, Toronto, they 25-10. I mean, that's good and all, but is Kawhi Leonard really going to stay? Is he really going to stay? Is he really going to stay? Even if he does stay, Boston, they're just going to get better and better and better. Kyle Lowry, he's not getting any younger. Kawhi Leonard, he's good, but I mean, is he really that good to lead a team to a championship? People might say he already did it in 2014. Well, I see Tony Parker, Tim Duncan, and Manu Ginobili on that team, not just Kawhi Leonard. Okay, I mean, you have the Milwaukee Bucks, who have Giannis up and coming, who I think will be very, very good in the future. But the Celtics are the team to beat. The Celtics are definitely the team to beat, and they still have assets to trade for a superstar in the upcoming future. They don't have to keep their current team. They can make a trade for an Anthony Davis type player. They can make a trade for a Jimmy Butler type player. They can even maybe acquire somebody like Kevin Durant in free agency. They have what it takes. They have everything they need in order to build a dynasty. They don't need anything else. I mean, yeah, in my opinion, the beast of the East is the Celtics, unless, I don't know, Kevin Durant joins the Sixers or the Bucks or something like this. Somebody has to shift the balance of power in the East in order for me to not pick the Celtics. Honestly, the record is not very good. and I'm gonna admit I'm a little concerned about it, because it might come down to a point where this team doesn't stay together. I mean that sucks, but I don't know. They might have to get rid of a Tatum or a Brown or maybe even Kyrie, which I have no problem with them doing. I mean they're all movable. I mean it doesn't really matter. They're still just going to be the beast. They're going to be the beast of the East. They have the draft picks, trade assets. They have everything they need, and cap space. They have cap space too. So yeah, it's Boston Celtics.
Boston Celtics, beast of the East. You guys heard it here. Now, moving on. This is an underrated story, or I won't say underrated, but very low-key story. The Houston Rockets definitely went to the playoffs last year, and they were in the uprising. A lot of people were hopping on their bandwagon, and they were doing amazing. CP3, everybody was excited for CP3 and James Harden. Now they're in a slump, and it looks like they're pretty much going downhill, especially with injuries and all that type going on. Where do you think CP3 or James Harden have a chance of getting a ring before retiring?
At this point, Chris Paul is a definite no. He's not getting any younger. The Rockets signed him to a ridiculous contract this summer. I wouldn't exactly say ridiculous, because he definitely earned that money. I mean, it's just sad to see him be injured again this season. It's just been every single year, even with the Clippers, 2015 against the Rockets, actually 2016 against the Blazers. I mean, he's just been injured constantly, and he can't be healthy. And James Harden, oh my goodness. I mean, look, man. Honestly, bro. James Harden is probably one of the more overrated players I have ever seen. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's good. But come on, people. He's not what you think he is. He plays no defense. I mean, he gets his assists, but let's be real, they're his assists. They're not actually run up team plays that the team can actually run off of. They're all his. It's nothing's going on in Houston, man. It's a very weird environment, I would have to say. I mean, they have the personnel to get somewhere in the future, but James Harden, his game isn't changing. Chris Paul is getting older. Mike D'Antoni is a terrible coach. I don't care what his past records with past teams are. He's a terrible coach. He's all offense, no defense. I mean, honestly, if James Harden wants to win a ring, he has to get another superstar type player to play with him. Chris Paul is not going to cut it. He's very good, but yet again, the Golden State Warriors are in their way, and they're just not a good enough team, honestly, to do anything for any time soon.
Interesting, very interesting. This is me personally, I like CP3. So it's very hard for me to kind of but see that the big possibility and coming to a reality now is that he won't get a ring. Because I feel like he definitely is a very high caliber point guard, specifically a basketball player all around, but point guard specifically. And without a ring, to be honest, I don't think he will go down to history like I think he should be. He won't. His presence in the league won't be as big as the impact as I think it should be. But speaking of players not going to places or not following along the timeline that I thought they would, Ant Davis. And now everybody saw the big story with him is the Lakers and everything and all that, all that jazz, and that definitely be a power move, to be honest. I don't think anybody will question that, but speaking specifically about Ant Davis, what do you think the best option is for him? And it doesn't have to be just Lakers, just overall, his position right now, where he's at, and what is available throughout the league. What is the best decision. What is the best position for him in this upcoming next, trade deadline and all that, or for the future period?
Well, he's not a free agent this summer, so he can't really make a decision. The only thing he can really do is request a trade, which I suggest he should do, because let's be real, nothing is getting done in New Orleans. Nothing will get done in New Orleans for the next foreseeable future. They have Drew Holiday, they have Etwan Moore, they have a good coach, and shit, I forgot his name, but they have a great coach. All right, Alvin Gentry. They have a great coach in Alvin Gentry. They have Drew Holiday, Etwan Moore, Nico Mirotic, and all that. I mean, that's cool and all, but at the end of the day, you need stars in this league to win. Even the best players in the league, they're great, but they're still not enough in today's league to win, and they know that. I mean, for him, I don't think it's not just he should probably go to the Lakers. It's that he should probably definitely move. Just get the hell up out of New Orleans. That's all I say. Get out of New Orleans. They're not doing anything for you. If they bring you a superstar, then of course stay. But they're not going to bring you anything. If they don't bring you anything in the next 2 years, then yeah. And when your contract expires, then definitely leave. If they don't bring you anything in the next year, this upcoming season, like next season, then request a trade. Honestly, that's all I got. That's all I got to say for that. And yeah, I think he should go to LA to play with LeBron. I mean, that's probably his best chance of like developing any chemistry with any player. I mean, anybody else, definitely not the Warriors. I mean, he could probably, maybe the Celtics. That's why I said the Celtics are the only team in the league who actually have tradable assets to get somebody like Anthony Davis, and they're willing to do it. They're willing to do whatever it takes to get him. They want to be as good as they can. Let me see. I mean, there's really no other team where I think he would actually fit. I mean, of course, he would be dominant on any other team, but if he goes to play with LeBron, that would definitely be a problem. And probably another dynasty for the next foreseeable future. But Anthony Davis, get the hell up out of New Orleans. They're not doing anything for you, man. And I feel terrible for him. And yeah, just get out of there. Just get out of there.
Well, I think they could be way more physical.
Yeah, I also think that too. Anthony Davis should get out of New Orleans. I feel like they were supposed to do things a while ago, at least bigger things than they have done. But I know stuff happens, So I hope the best for him. And yeah, I think he should move on to bigger and better things. But as far as that goes, I know there's been a lot of talk about, records and everything. When people talk about the best players in the league, they look at not just rings, but who has records, who has titles. And when you think about records, you think about like season records, career records, and not a lot of people talk about single game records. Do you feel like single game records or records that are in one game instead of like season records and career records are underrated in the league?
Do I think in-game records are underrated? No, I actually think they're actually appreciated more, honestly. I mean, when people look at stuff that happens in one season, they don't look at every game, but they always look at one game that one player had. They be like, "Oh, that's yeah, that was pretty big, man. That was pretty big." Honestly, not just individual records, just like a one game period can open the eyes of everybody in the league. It could be the two worst teams in the league, and they can go to triple overtime with over 150 points. Somebody can have over 60 or whatever, and people will be talking about it until the next season. And I think that's very cool, honestly. Whether it's somebody, whether it's a bad team beating the Warriors, or somebody going to triple overtime or anything like that, or if it's like somebody like, I don't know, Klay Thompson making 14 threes in the game. I mean, that's very vital And people they do like that. They do like that. They talk about that stuff a lot, even though individual seasons are praised heavily. They always look back and it's like, oh yeah, that one game this season, oh yeah, that was crazy. I want to see that again. That's why they play pre-record. That's why they play games pre-recorded. Always show them again and again and again. Say, no, this was a game that we're going to remember. This is a game we're going to remember. This is a performance that we're going to remember. It's the two teams that we're going to remember. So yeah, I do think that individual games, performances or whatever, they leave something special for fans and players. Honestly, I mean, like, you can talk to probably greatest players of all time and ask them what game do you think you played your best in, and they'll give you that game. Because individual games, they're matter. Even though there's a lot of them in a season, these games matter. People say, oh, it's the regular season, they don't matter. These games matter to these players and fans. Whether it's first time people going to a game, somebody scoring a career high, somebody first game of their career, you know, or just like how many wins they have in total. These games matter a lot to people in general. Yeah, it's not just a 82 game season. It's one game at a time, and that's how people should look at it. I mean, that's appreciate the league more like that, instead of just looking at just a regular season and then, oh yeah, let's get straight to the playoffs. That's how you appreciate the league more. You appreciate every single game that happens in a league.
Well, I actually think that for that reason specifically is the reason that people should appreciate the single game stats, because if you think about it, when, for example, Will Chamberlain, when he scored 100 points and back in the 60s, you had to think about how many players after him. Think about after that season. Think how many players got drafted in the NBA from then to now, and think about how many games, single games, that every single one of these players that have been drafted in the A after him have had to break the same record. You figure 82. You figure there are players get drafted in every year. So however many years that is, times however many players were drafted in each year, times 82 games every season. Of course, disregard the few years we had the 56 game seasons, but that's a lot of games. That's a lot of opportunities to break a record, and to hold a record for so long. I think it speaks volumes on their performance, because all these different people have all these different opportunities to break the same record with the same resources. And as far as time in the game and being able to get in the game, so I think it speaks a lot, personally. And speaking of players, they've been talking about the Warriors. You know, the big story was Kevin Durant getting a fight with Draymond Green and everything. Some people say they spice it up. Some people say, it's valid. And they talked about, Draymond Green. A lot of people think Draymond Green is going to come off. Who do you think is going to be the first person out of the amazing four on the Warriors to get off the team? Who do you think is going to be the first off?
I mean, with this upcoming season, it's clear it's going to be Kevin Durant. Obviously, I mean, he's had his time there. I give credit where his credit is due. He's got his 2 MVPs. He's got his 2 rings that he would not have unless he joined the team. But yeah, he played out in all those games that he played in. And I honestly think, because it's the end of the contract of after this season, and I do believe they're going to win the championship this year. And so he is a free agent after this season. So, I mean, it hasn't been a great season. But yeah, I mean, the signs are there. I mean, they're not really dominating the league like they were when they first came together and everything. I mean, he's getting into fights with his teammates, which he's probably has been doing since he's got there. They just haven't come out in the media and shown it. or anything. I mean, yeah, it's about time now. I mean, people have gotten used to it. I mean, I don't think he's gotten used to it. Honestly, he's still a little insecure about people talking to him about it. I mean, you see on Twitter, people will come at him. People come at him hard, and he responds to them. He responds to them hard too. I mean, honestly, should he be responding to him? Somebody as great as him? No, he should not be responding to them. He's one of the greatest players in the game. I'm not saying he should keep to himself, but there's just some battles that you already won, but you haven't fought. I mean, I think honestly, if he leaves, it's only just to get the people's trust back, just to get validation from people. That's the only reason why I think he would leave. But if he doesn't leave, I don't see anybody else leaving this Warriors team because they have no reason to. Probably except Steph Curry. Maybe when he gets old, he wants to go to his hometown team or something like that. Or something. I don't see Klay Thompson leaving. I don't see Draymond Green leaving unless the team actually lets him go. I can see the team letting him go, honestly. I mean, they don't really need him. They can win without him. They can win without Kevin Durant. I mean, it's just really Steph Curry that they want to keep. But yeah, Kevin Durant's the only one that I see actually leaving this team.
Right. And different people have different opinions about that. So that is very interesting. Last question for the night, Uncle Alex. LeBron James. A lot of people say he's the greatest athlete of his time, during his time in the NBA and during the professional sports. Just recently, just had a groin injury. Nothing crazy. Definitely heartbreaking. Excuse me, for LeBron fans. But he's day by day. Nothing crazy. He's still getting in. He's still getting in time. How long do you think he has left in the league? Physically.
Oh, I mean, physically, he keep playing until he's at least 45. I mean, people retire. It's not really a physical thing where they can't physically do it anymore. It's just that they just don't want to do it anymore. Honestly, I mean, LeBron James will go down probably as the top 2 greatest players to ever play this game, and that's no doubt. There's no doubt about it. I mean, whether he wants to retire or not, I've heard reports saying that he wants to play with his son when he comes into the league eventually, which I think will be very cool. But he'll be 40 by that time, and I think he's it's clear that he's on a decline right now, but it's a very slow decline, and he's not really getting better, but he's staying the course. Like he's been the same, overall player since he's come into the league, and he's not really going to get any better. His defense, he's going to probably get worse defensively. He's going to get slower, but he's still going to have his body. He's going to have the stamina to get up and down the court. He's still going to have the stamina to play a bunch of minutes a night. But it's going to be a certain point where he can't do the things he's doing right now. He can't carry the team like he's doing. He can't have the scoring load that he has right now. He can't do it. He can't do it all. He can't do it all. I mean, if he does do it all for the amount of time he's in Los Angeles, then yeah, you can definitely see LeBron leaving the league probably at the end of his contract. But I don't see him leaving anytime soon after his contract. He'll probably stay for maybe another few years, but he'll be as dominant as he is now when he's at least 37. When he's 37, he'll still be as good. But yeah, I don't see him leaving anytime soon. So yeah, we gotta appreciate him while he's still here. There's gonna be a time where he is going to go, but he's not going anywhere anytime soon.
I'll see you for your time tonight. Really appreciate it. Have a wonderful time.
All right, thanks. All right, guys, that's gonna be it for the video. Hope you like it, and tell us what you think down in the comments, and whatever you want me to talk about later, and then probably talk about it. All right. And yeah, see you later.